Yesterday, in a bipartisan vote, the United States Senate confirmed the new VA Secretary, Bob McDonald, 97-0. Bipartisan votes still happen on the Senate floor on non-controversial nominations like that. But what has virtually disappeared is the bipartisan teaming of senators on legislation. Until now, the new bipartisan legislative team is Rand Paul and Cory Booker, and today, Ari Melber sat down with both of them.
The problem really of the war on drugs is taking a lot of people who make youthful mistakes. It's punishing them for a lifetime. And I think if we can get them back into both voting as well as working, they're much less likely to get in trouble.
This is an issue whose time has come. America has a broken criminal justice system. We have 4 to 5% of the globe's population. 25% of the globe's prisoners are right here. Our taxpayers are carrying that burden. We're destroying lives. We're making communities less safe.
I think, as Cory has mentioned many times, this is a conservative notion in the sense that also we're spending an enormous amount of money on prisons.
People don't realize this practice of solitary confinement has incredibly negative effects on the development of young people. This is a practice we don't need to keep young people safe or to keep society safe. In fact, if we're interested in empowering people to succeed after prison, we would get rid of this practice almost in totality.
When you think about it, somebody smoked pot, somebody sold pot, and we're going to put them in solitary confinement. That's the punishment for this. So it's ridiculous. And I think our attitudes towards this are changing. I still don't think any of these drugs are a good idea. I just think the punishment that we've chosen is very wrong.
Honestly, right now, I don't care about the politics. This is an issue of justice. I'm finding allies all across the board. This is sort of a post-partisan issue.
When Senator Booker first came here, I thought he would be somebody that would be open to discussion, and I think he's proven to be that, and I think we work in a very collegial way.
It's been a pleasure to work with not just Rand Paul, but as you know, in Washington, so often your teams are working together. This has been a great pleasure, but we got to get this over the finish line.
Ari Melber, we used to see this sort of thing a fair amount, but what we didn't see, even in the good old days, is somebody like Rand Paul really out there on the right edge of his party, joining with somebody on the left side of the Democratic Party over an issue like this. This is new stuff.
It is new, and Senator Paul's positions here are pretty clear. It's restoring voting rights to former felons. It's doing record expungement, which is a huge issue, as you know, for folks who get out of jail, paid their time, and just want a job. He's also looking at the crack and cocaine disparity, which has huge racial implications, which we spoke about. And he said something actually off camera about this, where I said, did you have to give anything up to get into this bill, the Redeem Act, to get together on it? And he said, not really, because whatever motivates him and Cory Booker, he said, we're both really strong on this issue from different perspectives, but we really want to clean this up. And banning solitary confinement for juveniles, also something that they care deeply about. They want to do it.
This is one of those positions where liberal and libertarian overlap just right. It's fascinating to see Rand Paul doing this, and doing it, by the way, more eloquently than most Democrats who stay away from this subject. They don't want to be associated with it. I want to go to the part of the interview we're not showing, but Rachel was talking about it in her final block of her show tonight, which I'm sure you saw, where he got very nervous today, Rand Paul did, when you started talking to him about the Civil Rights Act, and you didn't specifically bring up the Rachel interviews, but he did these interviews, including Rachel's, in which he very clearly said things that are very different from the way he talks about it now. What do you think you were seeing today? I mean, he's trying to deny that he ever said some of these things, and he may eventually be able to brush that away. What you pointed out to him was he has clearly evolved. He just doesn't say he has evolved. But what do you think that evolution is about?
Well, what he said at the time was he would probably support the whole bill. He supports the Civil Rights Act, but he didn't like or had reservations about the rules on private businesses. That's what he said at the time.
And you tried to get him onto those particular titles of the act, but he kind of just filibustered past it.
Which I thought could be interesting, and I also thought it would be fair because, as he said, he feels it's been covered a lot. So here's a chance to raise it directly. We gave him ample time to respond to it. I think what we're seeing there is a desire by him to skirt the substantive policy discussion about whatever reservations may exist and some of the interstate or commerce power that the government used, and back off the entire thing and just say, look, I support the Civil Rights Act. That's something he said before, and he doesn't want to get into.
Rachel's point is interesting. He can't say anything like, I was wrong and I'm moving on. He's not the only politician we've seen in that kind of box. I mean, Hillary Clinton was in that kind of box in the last presidential election over her Iraq vote. She couldn't quite bring herself to get the words right about that in a way that would work politically. He probably won't have any problems with that particular subject, Civil Rights Act and Republican presidential primaries. But do you think that kind of thing is going to dog him throughout a presidential campaign?
I think it is difficult when you look at the number of questions in our politics that relate to federal versus state control. It's an issue on Obamacare and the Medicaid expansion. It's an issue to some degree on some of these discussions around corporate personhood and where do you want to locate that power, and do you want to have national rules or local rules. He's talked a lot and I think led eloquently on the idea that we should let states figure out if they want to decriminalize pot, and he's had a provision that would actually make some of that easier. But again, that brings you back to these questions of federalism. There are some issues, Lawrence, as you know, as we've discussed, that are bigger than states' rights. We've settled that controversy for the most part in this country around race and civil rights. There are other areas where liberals are saying, no, state rights are great for marijuana. So I don't think it's easy for any politician, him or any other, to walk away from a nuanced or detailed discussion.
You know what I think we've seen in recent elections is it seems to me that most voters don't care what your past position was. They care about what your position is now. And I mean, that's how Republicans were able to declare Mitt Romney to be a conservative last time around, because they just cared about where he was now. They didn't care that he was in favor of abortion in the past.
Yeah, and look, in the interview today, we talked a lot of policy. We talked about the racial elements of the war on drugs. We talked about all of those issues. On the politics, he's someone who's made a bet here that the best political answer is, this is in my rear view, and every time it comes up, I'm going to be clear, I support this thing, let's move forward. That's a political and substantive judgment he's made.
Fascinating to watch today. Thank you, Ari Melber.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Coming up, a Last Word exclusive, the third video in 2 weeks of violent arrests by NYPD officers. The man in this video who was arrested will join me next.